Why do humans replay embarrassing memories? It's 2:13 in the morning. You're lying in bed. The room is quiet. The lights are off. And, for a brief moment, everything feels peaceful. Then suddenly, your brain decides it's the perfect time to remind you of something that happened 10 years ago. Maybe you called your teacher mom. Maybe you waved back at someone who wasn't waving at you. Maybe you told a joke that nobody laughed at. Maybe you sent a text to the wrong person. Or maybe it was something much worse, something that still makes your stomach tighten the second you think about it. The memory appears out of nowhere, and before you can stop it, you're reliving the entire moment. The sounds, the faces, the awkward silence, the embarrassment. It's as if your brain has secretly been saving the memory for years, waiting for the perfect moment to torture you with it. But why? Why do embarrassing memories seem impossible to forget? Why does your brain replay them over and over again? And perhaps most importantly, why does it always happen when you're trying to sleep? The answer begins with a simple fact about the human brain. Your brain was never designed to make you happy. It was designed to keep you alive. And for most of human history, being embarrassed could be surprisingly dangerous. Imagine you're living in a small tribe 30,000 years ago. There are no cities, no internet, no millions of strangers, just 40 or 50 people. The same people you see every day, the same people you hunt with, sleep beside, depend on for survival. Now imagine doing something that makes those people lose respect for you. Maybe you fail during a hunt. Maybe you accidentally break an important tool. Maybe you offend someone powerful. Maybe you become the target of ridicule. In modern life, that might be uncomfortable. In ancient life, it could be catastrophic. Humans survived because they belonged to groups. Being accepted meant safety. Being rejected meant danger. And because social acceptance was so important, the brain evolved systems designed to monitor social mistakes. Embarrassment is one of those systems. Think of embarrassment as an alarm. Its purpose isn't to punish you. Its purpose is to teach you. The feeling is unpleasant because your brain wants you to remember the event. The more uncomfortable the experience, the less likely you are to repeat it. At least, that's the theory. But this creates a strange problem. Your brain doesn't always know when to stop learning. A mistake that happened yesterday might be useful to remember. A mistake that happened 10 years ago probably isn't. Yet your brain often treats both the same way. Why? Because memory doesn't work the way most people think. Many people imagine memory as a filing cabinet. Something happens. The brain stores it, then retrieves it later. Simple. But memory is much messier than that. Every time you remember something, your brain partially rebuilds it. It's less like opening a file and more like reconstructing a scene from scattered pieces, which means every time you replay an embarrassing memory, you're actually strengthening it. You're practicing it, rehearsing it, making it easier to access again in the future. Imagine walking across a grassy field. The first time, there's no path, but each time you walk the same route, the trail becomes clearer. Eventually, it becomes the easiest route to follow. Memories work similarly. The more often you revisit a memory, the stronger the pathway becomes. And embarrassing memories get revisited a lot, partly because they trigger something powerful. Emotion. Emotion acts like a spotlight. It tells the brain, pay attention. This matters. Remember this. That's why you can forget what you ate 2 Tuesdays ago, but still remember an awkward conversation from middle school. One event was emotionally neutral, the other wasn't. Your brain treated them differently. And embarrassment isn't just emotional, it's social, which makes it even more powerful. Humans are intensely social creatures. We care about what other people think, often far more than we realize. In fact, psychologists have discovered something called the spotlight effect, the tendency to overestimate how much other people notice us. Imagine spilling a drink in public. It feels like everyone saw it. Everyone noticed. Everyone remembers. But in reality, most people were probably focused on themselves, their own worries, their own problems, their own embarrassing memories. Yet your brain behaves as if the spotlight is permanently aimed at you, which makes social mistakes feel much larger than they actually are. And the larger they feel, the more likely the brain is to replay them. But there's another reason these memories keep returning: unfinished problems. The brain dislikes uncertainty. It dislikes unresolved situations. It likes closure. When something feels incomplete, the mind keeps returning to it. searching for a solution, searching for an explanation, searching for a different outcome. That's why people replay arguments, failed relationships, missed opportunities, and embarrassing moments. Some part of the brain is still trying to solve them, even when no solution exists, even when the event is long gone. And this brings us to one of the strangest parts of the story. Why does this happen so often at night? Why not during breakfast? Why not while you're busy? Why always when you're lying in bed? The answer may be surprisingly simple. During the day, your attention is occupied. Work, school, conversations, notifications, tasks. Your brain is busy. At night, those distractions disappear. And when external stimulation fades, internal thoughts become louder. The mind finally has room to wander. And unfortunately, it often wanders toward things that feel emotionally important, which is why a forgotten embarrassment from years ago can suddenly appear at 2 a.m. as if it happened yesterday. The memory was always there. You just finally became quiet enough to hear it. But here's the part nobody tells you. The embarrassing moment you're replaying probably isn't nearly as important as it feels. Most people don't remember your mistakes. They're too busy thinking about their own. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is lying awake replaying an embarrassing memory from years ago. And chances are, that memory has absolutely nothing to do with you, just like your embarrassing memory probably has nothing to do with them. Everyone is trapped inside their own mental theater, watching their own highlights, their own failures, their own awkward moments, which means something strange happens as we get older. The events that feel enormous to us often disappear from everyone else's memory completely, but not from ours, because our brains weren't designed to remember what mattered to other people. They were designed to remember what felt important to us, and embarrassment feels important, even when it isn't. So the next time your brain suddenly reminds you of something awkward from years ago, remember this. The memory isn't proof that you're broken. It isn't proof that you're weird. It isn't proof that everyone still remembers what happened. It's simply evidence that your brain is doing what it evolved to do, protecting your place in the group, trying to help you avoid future mistakes, trying a little too hard, because the embarrassing moment that still makes you cringe today may have vanished from everyone else's memory long ago. You're the only one still replaying it, and maybe the real challenge isn't learning how to forget. Maybe it's learning how to stop pressing replay